Oh man, that's the hardest I've worked for a long time. Hello everybody, hope you did okay. Welcome to Eastleigh for the Eastleigh 10k. And I don't think I've ever felt so awful warming up for a race for a long time. So I had a bit of a virus this week, so I got to chance my arm with this a bit, and this could go horribly wrong or it could be okay. It's a lovely day for it, nice and sunny, really spring-like day. So yeah, I've done this race before, 2014. I'm certainly not going to do 35 minutes that I did that year. We'll see how we go. Let's just try our best, that's all you can do really, isn't it? It's used today with my trusty Vaporfly ones. Well, this is like a pair I got from StockX a couple of years ago, so I think I've only done about 20 miles in these now. It's just saving these for races. Hello everybody, so unfortunately I've rather messed up with my footage from the Insta360 go through yesterday. I think I managed to turn off stabilisation, so I won't show you too much of the footage here, but I think it started behind a load of Aldershot ladies, so yeah, we're getting a lot of pictures of people's rears going very lopsided very quickly. But yeah, I didn't feel sort of too great today. I just felt a bit virally, so I thought if I could lock into a pace and see if I could keep it going and just see if we could actually get through, because I thought I got some reasonable fitness in the last few weeks, and it was a nice day, not much wind, pretty flat course. The only bit of like hill on this course comes out at about 2 miles. You go up for about a couple of minutes and then you swoop down. You seem to go actually down for longer than you go up, so that's quite nice. So the first K just came just outside 4 minutes. I wasn't really looking at the watch too much, to be honest, and by now it had spread out a bit and you can actually find some room to run. So yeah, I was into a nice rhythm now. I thought this was going to be a bit of a struggle, and there's the K marker there. Now I had my friend Phil York, long-time sparring partner there on the left, just see him in green. I didn't actually notice him at that point, but we went through the first mile there in 6:37 and Phil was just ahead. And at this point, unbeknown to me when I reviewed the footage, he actually crept away, and it wasn't until a bit later on that I actually caught him up and passed him. So yeah, Phil doing his rather sort of typical, got off a bit too quick. He's really been concentrating on track indoor races, 8s and 15s this winter, so I think 10k is a bit long for Phil, but he had beaten me in the Chichester 10k this time last year, so I was hoping to get my revenge for sure. This is at the 2 mile point, and quite reassuring when I review this footage, I actually sped up very slightly, a 6:35 mile compared to a 6:37, so although I was struggling a bit, I thought I seemed to have locked into a nice rhythm. Now this is the part of the course where you go uphill, then you take a left here at this roundabout, and you go up for a little bit more, and then you swoop down for what seems like a nice long time. So at this point I started to sort of glimpse Phil again. It's the first time I actually noticed him in the race, even though when I noticed him earlier in the footage, didn't even actually spot him on real life, but I thought I was actually ever so slightly gaining on him, so that took some heart, and it took me a couple of minutes and I actually caught up with him. And you can see now right at this point I'm right up to him. I do have a bit of a cheeky hello, and Phil does reply back. Sometimes when you think you're going to get past somebody, you make a sort of a go on, don't you, and then see if you can drop them. I was rather worried that Phil was just going to sit on my shoulder actually, but as it turned out I gained about a minute and a bit on him, but you never quite know unless you look round. It's quite difficult when you're tired to actually look round, and of course you really just want to concentrate. But at this point, this is the nice downhill sweep back towards the start area, but that's after about 6k, so it's a bit demoralising, because when you go past the start you realise you've got another 4k to go on a loop, which are 2 very long straights. So yeah, you really have to sort of concentrate at the end of this race, although it is pretty much flat to be fair. And here I am coming up on the 5k point at 20:23. I got it. I think it was a pretty even pace, because in these races sometimes your GPS adds a little bit of distance, so I finished up with a time of 40:52, so I think pretty much it was an even pace, and the actual GPS came out at 6.24 miles where it should be about 6.21, shouldn't it? So yeah, I think I would say it's pretty much an even pace race. I was very pleased with that for sure. And at 6k point here, which I reached in 24:28, you then start seeing the leisure centre on the right, which is the road and basically in which you start and finish. So at this point you're thinking, oh, the race is more than half over, and yet you feel like you're at the finish, but then you realise you've got quite a long way to go, because 4k is an awful long way, isn't it? It's almost a full park run, should we say, and already by this point I was sort of on my thinking that I'd had enough really, I wanted to come in, but yeah, I just need to sort of concentrate and keep going. It's a bit more spread out now, I've got a bit more room, but that means there's less people to overtake. I did generally find I was going past people ever so slightly in the second half. I think I overtook more people in the second half than overtook me, so nice to make a bit of progress. I think overall I was about 250th, so yeah, a very high class race, but I think I was 8th in the M55, so we'll take that. Decided not to take a bit of water there. I thought, although I fancied one, I thought thought I'll just plough on and yeah, see how we go. That's just registered the 4th mile split at 6:26, my fastest so far, but it is predominantly downhill that 4th mile. But anyway, it's good to sort of see those times progressing in hindsight, isn't it? Now at this point, it wasn't too long before my Insta360 Go 3S actually died. It lasted about half an hour. I think I got 29 minutes, something like that. So I went through 5 miles in 32:47, and there were my mile splits there. Yeah, nice little progression, I thought, just keeping that pace reasonably constant. And yeah, all in all, very satisfying race when I didn't feel well at all in the build-up. Have a quick look on Strava here. So here we are. This is my race. I actually started the watch when the gun went. So 41:03. I think 41:04 was my official time, and 40:52. I came 241st overall, 219th man, and I was 8th in my age group out of 130. So that's not too bad. Winner was Terry Booth of my age group in 35 minutes, and I think the overall winner was a low 30 minutes. So yeah, high quality race for sure. And looking at my splits here, it was my fastest 10k of the year, not surprisingly. One of my other splits here in yellow were my second fastest this year, and even did my 3rd fastest in the 400. I think the fastest mile was actually in the downhill bit of the top of the hill there. So yeah, basically the course is kind of an out loop back and a loop again. So we started here near the leisure centre, went out, did this sort of loop, but that's sort of the uphill bit there, and swooped down the hill, back past the start again, and then you did a loop here down Derby Road, come round here, and then back up there, and just finished on the little path in the park. And yeah, these final straights were quite something in terms of the fact that they seem to just drag on and on. Here are my mile splits, very consistent, I thought. I think the fastest one was the 4th one when it was slightly downhill. There's something wrong with the barometer on my 965, so it tends to sort of like falsely report a hill at the start. So yeah, I need to sort that out. If you look at the analysis, I've got my heart rate to the highest I've got it for some time, peaking off 156 at the end, which doesn't sound very much, but my maximum I'd say these days is around 162, and that's actually probably the highest I've got it running for some time. I did actually get it about 160 on the bike last summer, so actually my maximum may not be even as high as 162, and on 220 minus age, which would now be 220 minus 58, then it is 162. So yeah, it seems to be holding that one quite well. For some reason Cadence seems to put it into the single figure one there. But an average of 182, wouldn't it? So yeah, that's not too bad, I suppose. So this is my fastest 10k for 2 years. I think in that time I've done only 2 other 10ks to be fair, but significantly faster than Bourton a few weeks ago when I did a high 42, and Chichester this time last year when I did a low 42. So yeah, that was pleasing for sure. If you look at my training of late, I've been, apart from this week when I had Monday and Tuesday off because I didn't feel well, and I also had Saturday off the day before a race, see if I can just get a bit of extra oomph in my legs. I've had a couple of weeks where I've been hovering around about 50 miles, so it's building up in quite a nice little base again. And when I ran the Bourton 10k, you can see I wasn't running quite so many miles. In fact, I'd coming off this real illness just after Christmas and then into December as well. I was really sort of curtailed there as well. So I think when I hit the Bourton race, I was really low on mileage. So I think since then, literally a month since, I've had some good mileage, and hopefully this little setback I had earlier in this week won't be too bad, because it's sort of the 3rd illness I've had this winter, which is rather disappointing. And coupled with injuries I had last year and ever needing to keep my Achilles at bay, yeah, it just goes to show sometimes you just need to get out there, especially when you get older. I was quite interested by the fitness and freshness graph on Strava. I think it is rather related to volume, but even so, it does give you an idea. And you can basically see since the start of February, I've been on a largely upward curve, and I've now got back in terms of fitness level, according to this graph, basically to where I was at the BMAF 5k when I raced John Broome. And John Broome today, he was slightly faster than me at the Paulford 10k. I think he did about 40:25, something like that, compared to my 40:52. But considering he beat me by 2 minutes at Bourton, I'm a lot closer. And he did say, oh, maybe you'll get to 40 minutes or sub 40 minutes quicker than he will. That's been his target. So yeah, I think we may be meeting again in the mid-Cheshire 5k in the summer. That's only a 5k. If you go to the view of the last year, this is basically when I got injured in the summer. Then I didn't really do anything for a while, and I thought I'd better get back on the bike. Got it back up and up and up and up until sort of reached a peak there in October, and I think then I sort of dropped the biking. So this is perhaps slightly skewed. If I just look at running only, you can see there that big dip down to sort of mid-September when I started running again properly. This is probably more indicative of where I'm actually am at running. You can see now that I'm basically as high as I was since a couple of weeks after stopping. So it really does fall off a cliff, doesn't it, there? But yeah, I think I'm sort of getting back to it now. Haven't got quite the speed that I had there, but that was obviously early summer. I'd done an indoor season, I'd already done a 1500s, and I'd done some fast 200s when I got injured. I don't think it was really that. It was just a combination of things culminating. That was the final straw, I think. But yeah, this is quite encouraging to see that, you know, I've had one dip there when I was ill in December, another dip when I was there in January, had a mini dip this week, although can't really notice it, fortunately. And then let's see if I can push on. So I hope you found this interesting. Like and subscribe on that, and see you on the next one then. Bye. So that's cut now to some footage where I had a chat with Phil after the race, another guy called Ian who came up to me. It's also a bit embarrassing sometimes for me because people come up to me now and sort of introduce themselves as if I should know them, and sometimes I sort of like vaguely do, other times I'm not quite so sure, so I usually have to ask people who they are, which is a bit embarrassing. But anyway, I hope people take that in the right spirit.
Order shot runner.
Thank you. Need this. Here's Phil.
Yeah. Oh.
So we're 1-1 in recent 10Ks.
Are we? Oh,
That
right,
was,
yeah.
I reckon that was the hardest I've worked for a long, long time.
I've forgotten what the grind is like. From
I've had a bit of a,
79
I'm making
kilometres.
excuses, I had a bit of a virus all week, and like, you know when you start, you've got dead legs for the start, but I'm quite fit generally, I think I just got through it, and then I saw you kind of spurt me on. But when I went past you, I thought, oh fuck, I'm dead legged already, there's 5k to go.
Yeah.
And you thought I fell over?
Well, at 9k, I thought I saw your left arm go out to the left.
9K.
Yeah, and I thought a car had veered into park and disrupt. But I might,
Maybe just sort of taking
wrong, but,
put my arm out to turn. There was a few bits when you kind of got stuck behind people and you wasn't quite sure whether to just stay there or work past. But
I don't know whether you lined up by someone holding 40 minutes.
just behind it. I didn't want to start off too.
That wasn't a pacer, was it? Was that just a positional thing?
I didn't see any paces. Did you?
They were 45 minutes back.
Oh, okay.
45 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I knew 40 minutes would be beyond me, but I thought aim was to try and really run faster than a month ago at Borton, and I did that, and also did faster than Chichester. When I saw you, I thought, all right, I just need to, and then you sort of seemed to stay with me for a while.
I was quite even for the first. I found that quite demoralising because there's you never underestimate your opposition, but there's much younger guys in baggy shorts.
Yeah.
And it's just you think, oh, what am
And
I doing?
you haven't got super shoes, have you?
I tried them out in the car park and they felt very spongy. So I've got Saucony Ride.
Oh, okay.
18.
Yeah. What shoes did you get then?
I got they're made by On Running, and I think they're called Boombuster.
I don't have those.
I tried them out in the car park, and they felt like I was running on marshmallows.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I can't risk this.
You've got to get used to them. Yeah.
So
I mean, these are my sort of new Vaporflys, new inverted commas, because they're like shoes that's 6 years old, but kind of my favourites really. But
I was going to say, if this is going to be one of your YouTube videos, there's a young chap that you were cheering on at Parkrun at Upton Court.
Oh yeah.
Upton House.
Was he running?
His name's his name's Harry Samways, and he's just, with his mate Buddy Mitchell, he's just got into making YouTube videos. He's been inspired by you, and he just wondered whether we could give him a plug on this YouTube video. His name's Harry Samways, mum's name's Maria, and he's a budding 1500 metre runner.
Well,
he runs runners.
I'll put the channel link when I find it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Harry Samways, he's really keen on his run.
He was in the English schools, wasn't he?
I believe so. Yeah, I don't know the results.
We'll have to look up how he did.
He ran well in the inter-counties and he represents Dorset, but he's
marvellous.
very inspired by YouTube videos, and I know a lot of us enjoy watching them.
Yeah. There wasn't much in videos, though. I just got a bit of footage from my waist as usual, which conks out after about half an hour. I need to run faster to get the full footage.
Is this going to be called Tim Gross at the Eastleigh 10K?
with beating his mate Phil.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit demoralised, but I do feel a bit jaded. I'm not going to make excuses.
So you've been doing the track, though, haven't you?
Yeah, had a good indoor season, and I came here to break 40 minutes, and it didn't happen.
No. Well, I know that 40 minutes now I need to be much more. 42.53, my last race 4 weeks ago. So I wasn't going to improve 3 minutes in 4 weeks, was I?
Yeah, but I mean, once you've got that hill out the way, I mean, I was doing steady 4-minute kilometres and then they went to 4:26.
I did pace it quite well. I was generally going past people, though it started to sort of dry out towards the end. It was just a case of you know, get to the line any old how really. But
you've also got, for the viewers, you've got a really good haircut.
It's a bit demoralising at 6k when you go past the start, isn't it? And you finish, and you think, oh, you've got a long out and back to go yet. And
I know.
when you're already starting to feel like I've had enough now, you want to just sort of turn in.
Although it was a bad run, I now feel
At least I didn't see the winners
year.
coming in at 6k. I'm not that slow yet. Yeah.
I know. I think I've run 32 minutes on this course many years
Well,
ago.
I did 35, 2014.
But I'm coming back next year to have another go.
Funny thing is though, it just feels. It still feels just as hard. If anything, it feels harder because you're out there for longer, aren't you?
Yeah, that's
and
right.
You're suffering for longer.
Yeah.
Legs don't go. Anyway, good to see you, Phil.
Okay, then, well done, Tim. And I'll let Harry know.
I'll have to look up how John Broome did. He'd be very interested to know because.
Right, did he run here today?
No, he was doing a 10k with Andy Rayner, the FOD runner at Paulford, I think.
I guess it's back to park run for me next week.
Yeah, well, I was thinking at 5k, I've had enough now.
Yeah.
I've done about 20 minutes-ish, that'll do me.
Good to see you, Tim.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go and lick my wounds now.
All right, and good to see you.
Bye.
I'm Ian, hi, yes.
Yeah, did you run today, obviously? Yeah.
I did, yeah.
Did you beat me?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was at 48 minutes.
Oh, is that good for you?
Yeah, that's good for me. That's about my third fastest, so I only really... I started pretty much with this race.
Oh, really? Yeah, do you live around here then? Or Watford have you gone? Or was that just Watford football?
Just Watford football.
Oh, okay, yeah. So what are the shoes for the viewers then?
Yeah, so these are the Meta Speeds.
Oh, okay, they're the ones that I can't try, they don't do my size, but it's all point. I think I get to the point where it's sort of like start making excuses and it's down to you, not your shoes after a while. Oh, well, good to see you, well done.
Yeah,
cheers.